We have to fill these out. Describe illness or injury.
I dislocated my shoulder.
All right. I'm going to make you want to pee. Dripping faucets. When people are upset, the cultural convention is to bring them hot beverages. He is the winner of the physics bowl team. No. Where do you want me to go from? Can you sing Soft Kitty?
What?
My mom used to sing it to me when I was sick.
Jim Parsons' unexpected departure from the globally famous sitcom The Big Bang Theory certainly caught the attention of his fans and netizens. However, the show's behind-the-scenes dynamics, especially concerning the women cast, remained largely undisclosed until Parsons' exit brought some of these secrets to light. The revelation of such secrets added an element of intrigue to the show's legacy and cast a new perspective on its history.
Hello, Amy Farrah Fowler. I'm sorry to inform you that you have been taken in by unsupportable mathematics designed to prey on the gullible and the lonely. Additionally, I'm being blackmailed with...
Apparently, Jim Parsons' decision to part ways with his beloved character Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory was influenced by a multitude of factors. These included his hectic schedule performing in a Broadway production, the grief he experienced after his dog's passing, and dealing with a foot injury.
But yeah, he was painting dogs.
Yeah, he has a painting.
Those are ours, yeah.
He's a painting of you and
That's me with one of those dogs.
However, there have been substantial speculations regarding the alleged actual reasons for his decision to leave the show, with a focus on the female cast members. From Kaley Cuoco to Melissa Rauch and Mayim Bialik, every female character seemed to have some undisclosed aspects to their character. As the show began to incorporate elements of S, or portray certain dynamics, people started to speculate that these factors may have contributed to his sudden departure from the show.
It was a complicated road, as you can imagine.
Sure.
I mean, in retrospect, it wasn't. It was just happening before my eyes.
Born on March 24th, 1973, Jim Joseph Parsons is an American actor renowned for his portrayal of Sheldon Cooper in the immensely popular sitcom The Big Bang Theory. Parsons received numerous awards for this role, and in 2018, Forbes named him one of the world's highest-paid television actors, with an annual salary of $27.5 million.
Did you know that Jim Parsons actually became the highest paid actor? When he was on Big Bang Theory, he started off at $60,000 an episode.
Parsons initially worked in off-Broadway productions and made several television appearances. His breakthrough came with the role of Sheldon Cooper, a physicist in The Big Bang Theory. His audition for the part left creator Chuck Lorre thoroughly impressed, and that's how he secured the role of Sheldon.
He came in and auditioned. He came in and auditioned for the part of Sheldon, and it was hilarious. It was shocking. It was like, oh my God.
Parsons won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe Award for his portrayal of Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory. He is also known for his work in various projects, including films like The Big Year, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, and The Boys in the Band, among others. Apart from his film and Broadway career, he has made significant contributions to the television industry.
That are so divergent and all over the place, and all of us doing such different things that I do pray to do one day. I really do. But that's the landscape we live in, and this is all a long way of saying.
Jim Parsons initially began with a modest salary of $60,000 per episode on The Big Bang Theory. By the time he reached season 8 of the show, Parsons was making $300,000 per episode. After renegotiations and signing a new contract, he was earning an impressive $1 million per episode by 2017. His immense success in the industry led to Forbes ranking him as the highest-paid television actor in 2017, with earnings of $27.5 million that year.
Forbes just dropped their list of the world's highest-paid TV actors, and no surprise, it kicks off with a big bang.
But the question that intrigues his fans is, if he was earning such an impressive amount, why did he leave the show? Jim Parsons' name is indeed synonymous with his iconic character, Sheldon Cooper, from The Big Bang Theory. His impeccable portrayal of the super smart yet obnoxious character contributed significantly to the show's success, making it one of the best sitcoms of all time. However, the show came to an unexpected end after nearly 12 years with its 12th season. Everybody thought that the main reason for this was Parsons' desire to take a step back from the relentless pace of his career and savor life. This decision was influenced by several factors.
Yeah, the writers did an incredible job.
Yeah.
That was not an easy feat.
I was worried one of us was going to it off in the finale, so
Right. Being the Indian guy.
In 2017, Parsons had an extremely busy schedule, juggling filming for The Boys in the Band and a commercial for Intel, immediately after completing the 11th season of The Big Bang Theory. The constant work and lack of breaks took a toll on his mental health. Tragedy struck when his beloved dog of 14 years, whom he had with his husband Todd Spywak, fell seriously ill and passed away unexpectedly. Despite these challenges, Parsons pushed on until he broke his foot on set, which forced him to take a break and made him realize how he had been rushing through life.
However, it was off camera. And it was like this trio of a joke that went on. There were three things.
But do you think this was the sole reason? Numerous theories have been proposed, and many of them hold merit in the eyes of various enthusiasts. Among these theories, some intriguing ones delve deep, particularly when it comes to the female characters. While Sheldon's iconic bazinga might be the initial thought that springs to mind, have you ever paused to contemplate the enigmatic lives of the women who brought warmth and depth to the narrative?
Come here! Bazinga. Bazinga. Bazinga.
Prior to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood fame, Kaley Cuoco was just like any other aspiring actress, yearning for her big break. Born in 1985, Kaley embarked on her acting journey at a young age, making several appearances on TV shows, with her notable stint on Charmed. Little did she know that a sitcom centered around a group of eccentric physicists would emerge as the defining moment in her career.
Well, it's gotten tough. Season 1, we were all just so excited to be there and we wanted to go huge. Like, we wanted to do something so nice for the crew.
Kaley's introduction to The Big Bang Theory was nothing short of serendipitous. Following her role on Charmed, the network had a different path in mind for her. They envisioned her as the star of a spin-off series. However, Kaley, seeking the unique work-life balance that sitcoms could provide, declined the network's spin-off offer. It was then that she stumbled upon a script revolving around scientists and the girl next door. Taking on the role of Penny, she would infuse heart and soul into a show initially focused solely on intellect. "I love the role and I love Chuck," she said per an exclusive excerpt from The Hollywood Reporter. "I know Chuck really wanted me for the role of Katie, and I was definitely bummed when I didn't get it, but I kind of have a way of moving on because you have to." And here's a little secret. Before their first scene together, Kaley Cuoco and Jim Parsons, who portrayed Sheldon Cooper, were complete strangers. Yet an inadvertent incident involving Jim's battle with his BlackBerry was sufficient for Kaley to recognize the comic genius within him. Talk about first impressions! Despite the on-screen chemistry and the eventual fame, Kaley wasn't entirely convinced by the show's initial episodes. A surprising fact for many ardent fans is that she once openly admitted in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel that, in her words, the first season sucked.
The problem is, up to now 11, we're trying to top what we do every single year.
Right.
And it's getting a little bit more difficult. Like this year we were like, I don't know, do we buy everyone a house? Like we didn't know what.
As viewership continued to grow and the series found its stride, those initial reservations transformed into a deep affection for the show and its cast. Kaley's portrayal of Penny was undeniably brilliant, but her life beyond the set was equally intriguing. One might argue it was filled with as much drama and emotion as any sitcom plotline. Her passion for horse riding took a harrowing turn when she suffered a severe injury after falling off a horse during a lesson. "I remember clear as day because it takes a second when something is that bad. I was like, did I just fall on a whole thing of leaves? Because I heard all the cracking," she explained to everyone's horror. "It took me like 5 or 10 seconds to actually realize it wasn't just 400 leaves, it was my bones." The accident was indeed severe, to the point where Kaley Cuoco nearly lost her foot. So, if you ever wondered why Penny could be seen behind the Cheesecake Factory counter more frequently in certain episodes of Season 4, that's the reason.
Oh, I didn't tell you? You're banished from the Cheesecake Factory.
Why?
Well, you have 3 strikes.
But let's address the elephant in the room, her romantic endeavors. Few are aware that life imitated art when Kaley and her co-star Johnny Galecki began dating off-screen while their on-screen characters, Penny and Leonard, were in the midst of their romantic dance. While the couple chose to keep their relationship under wraps for the sake of the show, the secrecy took its toll on Kaley.
We're having a blast. Carl's the best. We're doing really well.
Eventually, in 2010, they went their separate ways. Fortunately for Big Bang Theory enthusiasts, the split didn't cast a shadow over their on-screen camaraderie. Following her relationship with Galecki, Kaley's heart found solace in tennis player Ryan Sweeting. Their shared passion for rackets and their love for each other seemed like the perfect match. "I had never really felt that feeling before, really," he previously said at the Grammy event. "The second I got here, I didn't want to go home. We spent every minute together, and I still haven't left from our blind date." But she again broke up with him and jumped to her new lover. The next woman is Mayim Bialik. At a time when many of her peers in Hollywood were succumbing to the intoxicating allure of fame, Mayim Bialik chose a different path. Instead of chasing the Hollywood dream, she pursued a different kind of dream, a career in neuroscience. By 2007, Mayim had earned a PhD in neuroscience from UCLA. It was this genuine love for science that lent authenticity and conviction to her portrayal of Amy Farrah Fowler on The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I guess it must have been back when I was in the Girl Sprouts.
For Mayim Bialik, her character was more than just lines from a script. It was an extension of her own personality. It represented a seamless blending of her on-screen persona with her off-screen expertise. This integration of her real-life knowledge into her role as Amy brought an authenticity that deeply resonated with fans of the show. One of her fans wrote, "I was a Penny fan until Mayim Bialik came on the show. She's an amazing woman, beautiful, intelligent, and very funny. I fell in love with her more after watching her YouTube channel. A lot of people don't give her enough credit. I personally think she's awesome." Another one added, "Mayim is my favorite. I always related to her nerdy background the most. I've spent my life being in male-dominated fields and being picked on my entire childhood with very few, if any, friends." It's no wonder then that Mayim's portrayal was celebrated with multiple award nominations, further cementing her position as a versatile actress capable of blending intellect with artistry. However, the spotlight often illuminates more than just our achievements. It also throws into sharp relief the struggles and trials that accompany a life lived in the public eye.
We were both 14, right?
That's my
We kissed.
first stage kiss for us both.
Yeah.
Wait, it was both your first stage kiss?
Yeah.
Throughout her career, Mayim has been vocal about her struggles with mental health, particularly depression. Her candidness about her battles has provided solace to countless others dealing with similar challenges, making her an inspiration both on and off the screen. When anyone who has a facade that people think is unbreakable, when those people speak up, it's very, very important, she says. It does make a difference in breaking that stigma and allowing people to see that mental health, it does not discriminate. There's no amount of money that makes you immune. But it appears that Mayim Bialik's mental health struggles might have contributed to moments that were seen as toxic. And this has been evident in various incidents. During the height of the Harvey Weinstein allegations, Mayim Bialik, who portrayed Amy, wrote an op-ed for the New York Times addressing the experience of being a woman in Hollywood. While her intentions were undoubtedly well-meaning, her comments on women's roles and representation in the industry raised concerns and issues for many fans of the show.
You know, I've been very open and vocal about growing up with mental health challenges, and that's a continuing, issue for many of us who struggle.
More importantly, she asserted that she had different experiences in Hollywood due to the way she dressed, in contrast to other women in the industry. "I have decided that my self is best reserved for private situations with those I am most intimate with. I dress modestly," she said. "I don't act flirtatiously with men as a policy." Mayim Bialik isn't the only actor on the show who made controversial remarks during her time on The Big Bang Theory, but her comments were significant enough to spark discussions from various perspectives. As a mother of 2 children, Mayim was open about her parenting techniques and shared with fans her choices in parenting. This included her stance as an anti-vaxxer for her children, which led to a significant public reaction and controversy.
Part of your parenting, the kids do not wear diapers.
Oh, no. So my kids did not wear diapers. That's called elimination communication.
She expressed her gratitude for those who were concerned about her children, but maintained that her decisions, along with her ex-husband, were made after thorough research and consultation consultation with medical professionals. Mayim Bialik's initial claim to fame was her role as a child star on the TV series Blossom. Following that, she didn't pursue much acting, and The Big Bang Theory marked her return to a major role on the small screen. However, despite her resurgence in popularity, Mayim hasn't become entangled in the Hollywood scene. She is an Orthodox Jew and religiously observant, and has stated in multiple interviews that, "I don't have a TV at home, so I don't really watch the show." For many actors, a single role can indeed define their career. For Melissa Rauch, that role was Bernadette Rostenkowski-Wolowitz in The Big Bang Theory. But before she donned the lab coat and served up laughs with her distinct, high-pitched voice, Melissa's journey was characterized by humble beginnings, persistent efforts, and a natural flair for the arts.
My mother didn't know it started the movie, so she's really excited, and she kept holding my hand, and I knew this was coming up.
Growing up in Marlboro, New Jersey, Melissa's inclinations toward acting became evident from an early age. Local theater and school plays provided her with the first taste of the stage, and by the time she reached college, she was determined to transform her passion into a profession. After graduating from Marymount Manhattan College in New York City, Rauch embarked on her career in stand-up comedy, taking on the city's infamous comedy circuit and its unique challenges.
Strippers! We want to see if they twirl their junk in the other direction.
In the first episode of The Big Bang Theory's 7th season, titled The Hofstadter Insufficiency, Bernadette and Amy attend an out-of-town convention together and share a hotel room. During the filming of one of these scenes, Rauch caused, in full view of a live studio audience, what she described as a little incident on a 2013 episode of Conan. "I'm in a hotel room bed, and in my own personal life, whenever I get under covers, I'm always really cold. So I just tend to pull the covers up really high and just leave my head out, and then I kind of like warm up my hands like I'm a Boy Scout starting a fire with sticks or something," Rauch said. During the scene, as Rauch was beneath the blanket, she began vigorously rubbing her hands together out of habit. This action apparently gave the impression that she was doing something entirely different. After the scene was over, our director and producer came over to me and they're like, "We need to see your hands in the next take. It looked like you were having way too much fun with yourself under the covers." Whoops. After the taping finished, Rauch said she spoke with a kid in the audience who asked, "Did you shoot that scene again with your hands out because it looked weird? Because my dad said it looked real weird." Melissa Rauch portrayed Bernadette, a feisty character on the show. However, in real life, she is more laid back, and reports suggest that she needed encouragement to be more assertive. Her ability to convincingly portray her character on the show highlights her talent as an actress.
So in the opening scene, I am pleasuring myself to a VHS tape. It's not me, it's a character.
Cuoco and Galecki once recalled having to push Rauch to be more aggressive during Season 7's The Scavenger Vortex, in which the 7 friends participated in a fierce scavenger hunt competition arranged by Raj. Cuoco mentioned that Melissa was supposed to push her out of the way in one particular take, and she had to prompt her to do so. In another part of the scene, Melissa was required to punch Galecki, but she couldn't bring herself to do it, and they both found it cute. They all had a good laugh about it, trying to stifle their laughter as they faced away from the camera. At the very end, when we all run back into the apartment to look under Sheldon's spot, Melissa is supposed to push me out of the way, and I was like, push me, Cuoco says. And she just shoved me in one of the takes, and I ran into the pole in the living room set. And we're both trying not to laugh, but we're facing away from the camera, and I'm literally crying. I'm laughing so hard. And she's crying too. We were laughing so hard. Melissa Rauch brought an unmatched energy to the series, and it was her character's iconic voice that made a lasting impression on audiences worldwide. The creation of that distinct high-pitched tone wasn't merely a stroke of luck. It was a carefully crafted choice. She drew inspiration from her own mother's voice, but exaggerated it for comedic effect. Rauch successfully crafted a voice that was simultaneously endearing and humorous, ultimately becoming a defining characteristic of her character.
It's a good thing you did that. You would have regretted it your whole life. Your whole life. Feels good, don't it? Feels good.
While The Big Bang Theory is undoubtedly one of the most successful sitcoms, some fans have expressed concerns that the writing in the later seasons became more formulaic and relied on cheap humor. The show initially aimed to cater to self-proclaimed nerds and geeks, but as time went on, some viewers felt that the jokes began to perpetuate the very stereotypes the show was expected to challenge. Instead of celebrating nerd culture, it started to mock it, with viewers sometimes laughing at the scientists rather than with them.
All right, just a few more feet, and Here we are, gentlemen. The gates of Elzebub.
Good Lord. Don't panic. This is what the last 97 hours have been about.
The socially awkward scientists at the forefront of the show represent a group of men who, by virtue of their nerdiness, deviate from conventional heteronormative standards of masculinity. This deviation, as explained by the pop culture detective, allowed the characters to make sexist comments and engage in misogynistic actions under the guise of being adorkable. When discussing The Big Bang Theory, the pop culture detective stated, it's their status as nerdy nice guys that lets them off the hook for a wide range of creepy, entitled, and downright sexist behaviors. Because they are blissfully unaware of the harm that their behaviors, such as stalking and words asking women if they're menstruating may cause, their actions are seen as acceptable, for they don't know what they're doing. But shouldn't they? What right do they possess to be held to a different standard? Some people say that when it comes to love, nice guys finish last, but those people clearly haven't met the Big Bang Theory's Leonard Hofstadter. In the article from the New Statesman America, Manavis mentions the concept of adorkable misogyny, as labeled by the pop culture detective. This concept involves dismissing traditional gender roles, such as women handling all the household chores, as humorously adorkable. The show suggests that because those perpetuating this damaging misogyny are perceived as non-threatening and unconventional in their behavior, they are seen as not posing an actual threat to progress. This approach can downplay the negative impact of reinforcing gender stereotypes and perpetuating outdated gender roles.
You may want to put on slacks.
What? Stop it! No! Leave me alone!
The success of The Big Bang Theory can be attributed, in part, to its reliance on nerd stereotypes and society's acceptance of them to permit certain types of humor, including sexism. This approach has contributed to the show's ability to attract millions of viewers for each episode. Through the concept of adorability, the socially awkward scientists are allowed to ignore certain standards of behavior, which many believe suggests that their intellectual preoccupation makes them exempt from adhering to social norms, including treating people with respect. This perception can be problematic as it implies that one's intelligence can excuse or justify a lack of basic respect for others.
What is it?
It's a snowflake from the North Pole.
Are you serious?
It'll last forever. I preserved it in a 1% solution of...
Moreover, talking about Parsons' departure, another reason for his departure was more somber. While filming the 12th season, Parsons became acutely aware that he was only 6 years away from the age at which his father had passed away. While he didn't believe he would meet the same fate, he didn't want to spend the rest of his life constantly working either.
It was brief, but you have a monitor that's on the ground, and I don't know if you don't do a lot of TV or whatever, like situation like there's monitors everywhere and you're on them, and it's really like.
Despite being offered substantial financial incentives, including a significant salary and profits, if he stayed on the show for 2 more years, Parsons remained firm in his decision to leave. He finally heeded the universe's signs, which seemed to be urging him to slow down. Now, Jim Parsons remains active in his career, including voiceover work for Young Sheldon and other miniseries and movies. He has also shared his feelings about leaving The Big Bang Theory after being a part of it for 12 years. He said, "I didn't know that I was searching for it, but between the dog and the foot, I was just like, okay, let's take charge here. It has been fascinating to think about who I was 12 years ago. And sometimes when I have trouble learning a line or saying a line of Sheldon's right now, it's hard to know why specifically, but it's like, you're not the same person you were. There is a possibility that this actually became more difficult for you in a way. And I don't know what that means, but it's like you just change." The Big Bang Theory is undeniably a sitcom that resonates with a wide audience. When you tune in, you'll find a delightful mix of humor, friendship, and a touch of eccentricity. The show revolves around a group of self-proclaimed nerds and geeks, each with their quirks and unique personalities, as they navigate the challenges of life, love, and the intricate world of quantum physics. But its dark hidden truths are quite concerning. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.